Hi all, welcome to Workato Masterclass series. Today we are going to discuss a new use case with a new challenge. Okay, before we move into our today's discussion, let's have a quick recap on what we have discussed on the previous session. We have discussed a use case about converting a string list into number list. Okay, suppose you have missed our previous video, please go and check our YouTube channel. I'll be providing a link in the description box, as well as you can click on the I button at the right of our video. So let's jump into our today's discussion. Let's have how to remove XML tags from the payload using XSLT. Okay. Let's understand what is XSLT first. So that understand why XSLT comes into picture when we are converting XML tags. Okay. So basically to remove it. So XSLT is nothing but extensible style sheet language transformation. Okay. So that will used for transforming your the XML payload into a different format, a different response. So example, we can get the HTML format, or we can get a plain text, or we can get a XHTML format as well. But in this case, I'll be covering two formats, that is converting XML into HTML and XML into a plain text. Okay. So this is how the input looks. Okay. So you can see like there is a XML text, like we can see like similar to your HTML tags. Okay. So we'll have a books inside that. We have a book. Again, we have a title or the here. There's a one book item and another book items. There are two books we have, which we need to convert into. The output is this is how it looks. Okay. So now understood what is XSLT and what is the requirement on that case, right? So now we'll jump into our workspace and let's see how basically we can convert this XML payload into a different format. It's HTML and the a plain text. Okay. Okay. So once you log into your workspace, this is how the basically the Workato workspace got modified from your if you not observe properly the environment, like you can see observe here, it's got into the you can see at the right top of the left side of your workspace, top of all your lefts. So once you log into your workspace, so this is how the basically the Workato workspace looks. Okay, left side you can see the all assets, projects, everything. So when you click on the particular projects, that will show respective recipes, connections, everything. So example, if I click on the connection folders, it looks also you can see the respective connections is there. Okay. So there are a little bit of modification to the workspace. They have you can see the environment is also we can see here the right top top of your screen. Okay, my screen. See, right? So basically, let's go into our today's discussion, that is removing the XML headers, you can say, or XML tags, you can say. Okay, instead of headers, I'll just modify it to this one to XML tags, you can say. Okay. So now our requirement was right. So there was a books. Inside that we have a two book items. It's one book with a title called Effective Java and another book with title Clean Code. So now I'm applying XSLT. That is, say my output has to be method has to be text, and if we observe the template, right, it's a very small like simple format. Like the template will be looks, and also there's a style sheet stuff like right. So whereas I'll be showing you the more of format that is HTML, whereas the XML remains. I'm not be using the same XML to not to confuse you. So hence I'm using a different XML. Okay. So now I gave this as the HTML, that is like output has to be HTML, and I gave as indent as yes. It will give me an indentation properly for that. So if you observe the compared to first one to second one, you're saying I have there are a lot of HTML or tags inside the my XSL, right? So that is called because I'm saying I'm applying this HTML. I want this HTML tags when while converting, like when you convert this into XML, I want the HTML format. I don't want any kind of simple format, right? I'm just telling them, this is the format how it should looks, and you should go through each of the student record and get me the name and grade. Okay. Now let's run this particular recipe and see how basically it looks the our output. If you observe carefully, our input was right. This is what our input was, correct? Right. So now it's got when I applied the XSLT for that. This is what my XML was, right? I applied XSLT over that, and output was simple text format. Now, if you observe the second one, the the XSLT looks little bit different, like more kind of two HTML tags, which is there, and I'm applying over the XML. So if you observe the output, is give me a pure HTML code inside that, everything in the HTML, right? So this is basically when you are want to convert a given XML payload into a different format of either be text or maybe HTML. I'm just using this example here. Also, you can apply over to get the response as XHTML as well. Okay. So let's to understand overall. Okay. So this is when you want a plain text. Means, say example, I don't want any kind of a tags from the XML. I just want a plain text. Then you have to apply this particular tags. The tag has to be you have to know which tag has to be applied. So to the in the XLT. So I gave as so output as a method as text. Okay, and I gave as output as raw output response. Okay, and similarly for the HTML, you have to give exactly the output as HTML, which format you want, and also you have to give the accordingly the HTML tags. Okay, the body and the what do you call table row, table headers, these all things. Okay, so this is what this how it looks, and it's also response remains same, the raw text response body. Okay, so hope you guys understood the today's session. That's like how to compare, the basically how to compare the plain text and the HTML, and also how basically to convert that XML payload into a different format of a response, that HTML and a plain text. Okay, so I am ending this particular session with this particular note. Okay, but suppose you have any kind of queries or you have any doubts, please comment out your queries in the comment box, so that I'll go through that particular queries and I'll give you answer in that particular comments or reply to that particular comment there itself. Or else it's need any explanations, and I'll be taking that queries into our next session and explain the first half of our session and go to the next. The session will be continued on the next topic. Okay. Suppose you have a particular topic to be covered in your case, please do comment as well so that I can take up that as a in my in a list topic list, so that I can take up that topic in a future sessions. Okay. Until then, keep learning, give your best in your recipe building, and also do a mistake. If you not do mistakes, you'll not learn. Okay. So keep doing mistakes and also learn from that. With that note, I'll just closing this particular session. So thank you for your patience and also time, and thank you.